All right, it is that time of the week. We have Taurus today. Taurus. What do we got for love for Taurus? What is coming in for Taurus for love? Romantic. Death or Scorpio. Something that may be questioning your ideals, morals, you know. Oh, you just want to play. Somebody just wants to play. Okay. Maybe you could be taking a trip or something like that. You'd be meeting somebody. Maybe somebody's going to be coming in. So somebody could be fearing, like, let's say, you know, you're meeting somebody at a distance, or let's say you have somebody that you're dating or you're talking to, and then there could be a time where you're going to meet that person. You could start to be psyching yourself out and maybe not sure that you're really able to do it. Okay? It could be something like that. Now, you could also be experiencing something about, you know, let's say there's something that kind of makes you kind of question your... It's like, how can I say this? Okay, example. Let's say you're considerably older, and there's somebody that's, you know, 20 years your junior. You know, something could be questioning, you know, why you want to, you know, date somebody, you know, or speak to somebody of that age. Okay, you know, so let's say you're, I don't know, let's say you're 40 and you date somebody 20. You know, something like, I don't know. These are the numbers that are coming up. I don't know why. All right. Or, I don't know, 50 and 30. I don't know. Now, there is something about another person. Now, somebody needs to start. There is something that's going on with another person right now. Somebody's feeling like they're not good enough. Somebody needs to stop. Somebody needs to stop thinking that they're not good enough. Now, was there somebody that actually made you feel this way? That's what it is. Somebody's like psyching themselves out. Somebody's doing that. This is some sort of a blockage or something that somebody's going through. Tell me more about this blockage. Let's get this blockage out of here. Ace of Swords. It is a belief system, you know, and this actually could be something. Somebody needs a new way of thinking. Somebody needs it's a new way of thinking. Somebody needs. It's like somebody needs something that's more of a more successful thoughts. It has to do with somebody that's basically the way that they talk to themselves, or the way that they think, or the way that somebody needs to basically train their mind for success. That's what I'm getting. Somebody needs to train their mind for success, especially with the Six of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, somebody needs to change the way that they think and you know, train their mind for success. Okay. You have to see something, you have to visualize it, and whatever it is that you visualize, it doesn't necessarily is going to manifest exactly the way that you see it or visualize it. That's just basically part of the process. It's best if you kind of, you have to kind of like coach yourself. Sometimes we're not always going to have people around us that are going to be patting us on the back and telling us things that we need to hear and see and stuff. You know, a lot of times you can be somebody's cheerleader, but maybe there's nobody that's a cheerleader for you. Now, that's just kind of how the world works sometimes. That's why we have to be independent of ourselves. We can't rely on other people for validation. We can't rely on other people to pep us up. We can't rely on other people to be our cheerleader. We can't rely on that. If we rely on that, we'll never get anywhere. Everyone is in their own world. Everyone is in their own way. Somebody could really be in their own way. Everyone is in their own world. They're trying to focus on what's making them great. We can't fault other people. We can't look at other people and say, you're supposed to support me. You're supposed to validate me. I'm starting this business. You know, it sucks. It does, but we can't hold people to that standard because they're doing whatever it is that they're doing. They're trying to do the same thing that we're doing. It gets exhausting. Okay, it's good to be somebody's cheerleader, but, you know, how much are you giving to other people? Why don't you start giving that to yourself? All right? I don't know where I'm going with this, but... So, Anyway, I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole, but maybe somebody needed like a little pep talk. But it has to do with the way somebody sees themselves. And, you know, man, why is everyone so complicated? Yeah. Somebody needs to change the way that they think. Okay. They need to start being their own cheerleader. We can't rely on other people for that. Yeah. Somebody's going to need to stop doing that. So that's basically the blockage. All right. Somebody, now there could always be something that, like, you know, so think of it this way. No. Ten of Swords. Think of it this way. Okay. Sometimes people have large families. You know, you got this 10. Yep. Oh, you got this right here. Maybe when you were a kid, maybe people looked up to you. Maybe you were very insightful. Maybe you were very intelligent. Maybe, you know, you were always like the voice of reason, even as a kid. Okay. You could have been in a, you know, large family. Okay. Or a lot of people around you. Or maybe you had a lot of responsibilities. And being like a team effort. So you're used to that team effort. The world changes though. A lot of people aren't quite the same as they used to be. If you have a very large family and then that family starts to decrease, you could be losing other people. You know, they could be going off to do this career. Some of them might pass away. These things happen. So we're still part of that group. Why do I want to say group tank? Group mentality, group thinking. Okay. Maybe that's part of it. Okay. I wasn't trying to get into all this. I was just looking for somebody could be thinking like too. There could be somebody, okay, this is going everywhere. You must be in your mind a lot. Interesting. You must be in your mind a lot. Or you're dealing with somebody who's in their mind a lot and their emotions and their feelings. Okay. If that's the case, there could be someone that maybe they really, really think a lot. All right. If this is you, you could be dealing with someone who thinks like that and you're just like, man, you know, it could be a little bit too exhausting for you having somebody that's so incredibly, I guess you could say gifted, you know. Somebody has a lot going on in their mind, you know, at all times. And they don't know how to decipher whichever, it's like they don't need to kind of, it's almost like something about filing certain things. Maybe something needs to be kind of filed in the mind. Okay. This is everywhere. This is everywhere. Okay. However, you could be dating someone or talking to someone romantically who is like this, and it might be a little bit exhausting for you. It might not be quite what you want. Might be not your cup of tea, and you might be like, you know what, I like this person, but more and more it's kind of like getting exhausting, and I might need to kind of like sever this connection. Okay. Or it could be vice versa. All right. Maybe you are like this and somebody who is with you might be needing to sever the communication. There's a lot of different elements that's going on here. So it could be something like that where there's like a lot of people maybe in your family. You kind of grew up that certain way. There's a whole bunch of different elements here. And it's all kind of coming back to you. Okay. So basically, it's something about maybe even being a little bit more independent. Okay. It's something about being a little bit more independent. You were used to a certain way. You were raised a certain way. You were around a certain, you know, dynamic or demographic. And, you know, something is incredibly or vastly different. And it's making you really, really overthink. Okay. I'm just going to put it that way. It could be making you think that, you know, you're not good enough. Yada, yada, yada. It could be putting you in this mindset of that. And I don't necessarily know that any of this technically is personal. I think it's just you're not used to going from one thing to another. And it's not comfortable. So it's making you feel things on a much more deeper and emotional level. Okay, even psychological level. All right. I don't think it technically has anything really to do with you. However, it's taking you down almost literally like a rabbit hole of thinking, and it's making you, it could make you spiral. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, there could have been a series of different things that may have happened, and you've kind of like taking it personally and thinking that it's something that's like directly, you know, affecting or related to you. And I don't really think it is. Yeah. A lot of it has something to do with maybe being a little bit, you know, strong and independent on your own. Not saying that you're not, but I feel like that's where it is that you need to be. Okay. Now, you could also be dealing with somebody now, you know, that's kind of what the situation is now. There could be, you know, you could be kind of coming in, or maybe somebody else could be coming into you either to talk to you, to kind of help you, kind of coach you through something like this, you know, to kind of help you and maybe alleviate some, you know, fears or whatever, to kind of something to kind of like start to build up your confidence again. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Now, there could be something that you need to hear, you know, could it be this reading? Yes, or maybe you're going to get some insight from somebody else, or maybe whatever. Okay. This communication, it could be from something, you know, it's a little like coaching. Yeah. So you might be needing to, you know, do some research. Okay. Or just kind of like start to implement certain things. Because I don't technically feel like it's anything to do with you. No. It's just circumstance. It's just circumstance. Okay. Two wands. Justice. Exactly. 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 I feel like at one time you used to be incredibly confident. Okay. The world is very, very different. I just keep getting that. The world is very different. Everything changes. You know, what we once were, especially when we get older, we're not like that anymore. And everything changes. Things kind of like, you know, history repeats itself. There's only so many cycles. You know, I'm not getting into that. That's too exhausting. Maybe that's for another time. Okay. But right now we're in a certain cycle. And we're just kind of in this cycle of basically revamping or redoing, reconstructing, you know, deconstructing. I was mentioning something about that yesterday. Okay. That's where we're at. So somebody right now maybe needs to be a little bit more independent. Somebody could also be thinking about a couple of different options or something like that, or maybe taking a you know, a different approach or an opinion or something like that. Oh, where am I going with that? I don't know what that's about. All right. So what I have here is you could be considering now there. Okay, so there is a Scorpio energy here, FYI. There was also a Libra energy. Now, as far as you could be considering either getting back with somebody because it's almost like habit. It's something that you're used to. You could actually be deciding between two ways of being, or being of two different minds, two different things to go after. I feel like you're kind of like, I really feel like a little bit, somebody could be very lost and confused, and they're just kind of like in their emotions. You may have actually even recently ended a relationship. All right, let's start to wrap this up. Tell me about this Two of Wands. Did I mention something about going down the rabbit hole? You may actually want to kind of get, I am kind of thinking that. I am kind of feeling that. That could be what you're thinking. You may want to get back with somebody else that you've been with, somebody who's very strong and sturdy, you know, somebody that you respect, somebody that, you know, maybe has changed. Maybe they've evolved quite a bit. Maybe they're in a different position, a stronger position. you know, and maybe you kind of want to get back with that person, whether it's, you know, either to talk to them to kind of help you to go through, you know, maybe it could be like, you know, talking to somebody, hey, what happened between us? Not that I want to get back together or anything like that, but can you just tell me, you know, we've been apart for so long, you know, can you just kind of like tell me, you know, exactly what things were wrong with me? Can you just be honest? I really need that. It's almost something like that. It's giving that. I don't know necessarily it's something that you want to kind of get back with somebody, but it's almost could be like something that you may be thinking about. Because I feel like there could be a part where you're wanting to reflect on yourself and you're wanting to do something to change yourself. I really feel like that. Okay, this Emperor. And that could be what it is. Now, on a side note, you know, you could be wanting to get back with a different boss or something like that. Maybe you've had like a certain job. There's a lot of stuff of kind of going backwards. What in the world? You got a lot going. I don't think Tauruses generally are this much of an overthinker, but hey. Ooh, all right. Yeah. Yeah, you could be, now, you really could be reflecting or talking to another person to find out, you know, if, you know, what happened in it. It's almost like somebody wants to kind of like do like some sort of research kind of like about themselves and look into themselves. Whoever this person is, I feel like this is a decent person that you kind of want to talk to, though. All right. Somebody could be very dynamic. Okay. Whoever this past person is might have, they give it to you straight. They give it to you straight. Okay. Now, are you able to handle it is what it is. This could really make you feel a little bit, this could cause a little bit of trouble for you. This could cause a little bit of trouble for you. Because if somebody's going to give it to you straight, they're going to tell you the truth. This could be, you know, something that could be very upsetting to you. But if you're going to ask, you're going to have to be prepared. Okay? If you want somebody to be honest with you, you have to be prepared. There's so many people out there that don't want that honesty. They think that they do, but they don't. They do not want it. They gaslight themselves and they gaslight everyone else saying, yeah, I want somebody to be honest. And when you're honest with them, they're like, oh, you know, and then they want to rip your head off. You know? So just be cautious. If you want somebody to be straight with you, make sure that you're able to handle it. That's it. All right. Now, if there is something about another person, let's say that you recently had a breakup, you could find out, you know, because we were kind of going back to that. And this could be taking you down a certain rabbit hole or whatever it is. Somebody maybe just wants to kind of like do their own thing. Yeah. I'm going to add this in here. I was getting something about us. Oh, we did have that world a little bit ago. I was getting something about that. Now, there could be a certain cycle or a certain pattern that somebody goes through. And this could be through different relationships, yada, yada, yada. And it really, the thing that could be the same could be you. So it could be you. Let's say it's you. Let's say when you get in a relationship, you get settled down, you like the dynamic, everything's going very, very good. And then at some point, you probably get a little bit bored. You probably start to go down a certain rabbit hole, or maybe you kind of like something else catches your eye. And you go through this kind of repeating cycle. Okay. That's something completely different. Or you may have like this little kind of player side where you kind of get a little bit restless. I mean, that could be really technically part of human nature. It's up to us to kind of control it and figure out exactly what it is that we want. Rather than kind of like jumping on the saddle, jumping on the horse and saying, well, I'm going to pursue this, you know, and this person ain't going to know about it. It could be something like that too. I don't know where I'm going with that. All right. Anyway, I wasn't supposed to take this that far. I feel like there's something kind of going on with you right now. Maybe you need to kind of look at. Or if it ain't you, then it's your partner. Whoever this is, I feel like this is somebody that's going through something right now. And it could definitely have something to do with a particular person or a partner or something that somebody's dealing with. All right. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot that's internal. There's a lot of it that's internal. But it manifests out into the open, into the real world. Okay. That's it. I'm leaving it there. I do feel like somebody wants to be free, though. And I think that's a big part of it. Somebody likes the idea of being tied down or whatever, but technically their spirit is a little bit more free. They like to kind of like do things. They get bored after some time, and then they have to just kind of go. Yeah. All right. I hope you can make sense of all this. I'm leaving it there. Anyway. All right, Taurus. Like, comment, share, follow. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you'd like to reach out to me to book a private reading, you can email becomethestar1111@gmail.com, or you can contact me through Instagram, Become the Star. It's all one word, all lowercase. Make sure you're paying attention to the spelling, because there are scammers out there pretending to be me. All right? If you get scammed, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't reach out to people. I don't. Okay? So, if you want to book a reading with me, then I do my readings one-on-one through video call. Okay? So you know it's me. I don't do them any other way. If anyone wants to give you any other reading any other way, it's not me. It's the only way I do them. Okay? That's it. Good luck. Have a good week.